quickly because water's evaporating off the edge, so you might like to work on that a bit while there's still moisture there. Marius hadn't really sanded the first 4 layers well enough, so in fact we're going to have another imperfections in this because there are sort of deeper valleys which weren't sanded out, and because this had been traced on, we didn't want that, and there wasn't enough bowl to do a really thorough sanding, so we just decided to go with it as it is. But it's all right.
Going for the antique look.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But it was not the gesso, it was the ball.
It was the
Yeah.
bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no substitute for learning that though, even is there?
No, yeah. Because there are dips, because of the faulty sanding, you've got to actually be a bit inventive. And if you go to a deep valley, what you do is you turn this, so actually you use, instead of going for the larger surface here, you go for the small, so you can turn into that a bit, like that, see? And you must angle yourself so you can see what you're burning and what you can't. As I've often mentioned, burnish comes from the word to brown, and you can see that where it's more polished, it's a different colour because it's reflecting differently. So you've got to be able to see where you burnish and where you haven't, and where there are dips. But when you get that sweet time, it's just so, it's like someone sprayed oil on it, and it's a nice sort of lubricated feel to it. What you dread is that high-pitched scratch. That's the death knell, really.
And if you had touched it while you were burnishing with the oil on your hands?
Yeah, so what you do if you have patches like that, the best, I mean, if you patch them straight away while you're gilding, that's right, but then that slows you down. So when they're like that, I just leave them burnish, and then I'll show you how to patch afterwards. Basically, you just put a bit of your gilding water with a touch of, your double gilding water, let's call it, just with a touch of glue. Just put a little dot on, put your gold on, wait for a few seconds, press it down, then polish it just with cotton wool. Because it's burnished behind, you don't need to burnish the patch because it's sort of blend. If you're trying to burnish the patch is a bit damp, but the surrounding isn't, so it actually makes it worse. So that's why it's better to burnish as it were, with cotton wool rather than an actual burnisher. So changing direction about 5-10 degrees. And what we'll do is, so we can avoid those striations, we'll finish off with the spade. We'll show you how it gets rid of those. If it's undulating like this, the spade doesn't work so well because the spade can't get into the valleys. It works best when it's not undulating.